Good morning, everyone. It's Karen Hooley. I hope you're having a great week so far. It's Live Wednesday, and our topic today is which crochet hook. I'm going to pop into chat first and see who's all here. If you haven't if you're watching and you haven't jumped into chat and said hello, make sure you do. First, we've got Linda and Daisy are here, and it's hot there. That's great. We are getting warm weather too. It's in the 70s this week, so I'm very excited about that. We also have, and she smashed the like button. So if you haven't done it already, make sure you hit the like button. That helps with the algorithms and stuff like that. And Stephanie from Texas is here. Good morning, Stephanie. And Kelly is here. Good morning. And Renee is here as well. Good morning, Renee. I'm glad to see you here. And beautiful weather in the Southeast. That's great. I'm so glad everybody's having a little bit of good weather. It's been a rough winter and early spring, hasn't it? And Pamela's here. Good morning, Pamela. It's good to see you. Hot meat. Oh, wow. North Texas is in the 90s. Wow. Okay. I'm not ready for that heat yet. So let me see who else is here. Very warm here in Southwest Ohio. It's been a really interesting spring, hasn't it? With the heat and stuff. So today we're going to be talking about crochet hooks a little bit. This is kind of an easier one for my brain. As you guys know, if you've been watching for the last couple weeks, I've been mentioning that I started my treatments again yesterday, and today I'm not too bad. I'm a little pale. I'm sure you guys can see the pale, but I am really tired and have a lot of brain fog. So just so you guys know, if I kind of lose my train of thought and that kind of thing, you know why. But make sure you guys, if you have a question about crochet hooks, anything about crochet hooks, I'm going to do a little show and tell on crochet hooks and explain a little bit of the differences. And I know I've done this in the past, but I get a lot of questions on this. So I thought this one would be in depth on what crochet hooks, what the differences are, when to use one over the other, that kind of thing. So I just wanted to make sure you guys knew what the topic was. But if you have a question, type Q and then add your question. And that'll allow me to queue up your questions into the Q&A part of this, all of this. So Stephanie says, oops, it's a tad early for the heat. Oh, no. Oh, 100. No, I'm not ready for that at all. I mean, that's coming, I know, here as well. Last year, I think we had 60 days in a row over 90 and like 3 or 4 in a row over 100. And I know sporadically we got over 100. We got as far as 117 last year. So, yeah. Hi, Liz. Good morning. I'm glad you're here. And thank you. My treatments so far, they're going okay. I mean, I feel as far as the treatment part of it, it went actually pretty smoothly yesterday. So I'm doing okay with that. It's just the brain fog and this being tired today. I've got 2 more weeks, next Tuesday and the following Tuesday. And then if all goes well, I will be done with treatments, hopefully forever. I mean, I'll have to have checkups every once in a while. I'm going to fix my camera here because I can't. There we go. Okay. I feel like I'm looking off to the side. So anyway, so if you have any questions, which crochet hook, just type a Q and then your question and then leave it posted in chat and I will make sure to answer it. I love to talk about crochet hooks. Awesome. Well, this is great then for you. Okay, so I'm going to take this top banner off. And oops, I got another comment here. I have brain fog with no excuse, so don't feel bad. Oh, Linda. Oh, it's just been, I'm really hoping that this year is, I mean, by the end of the year, I'm going to be my normal self again, which is it's been really difficult. So dealing with this brain fog stuff. So yeah. And let's see, I've been having brain fog, had 3 surgeries in the last 4 months. Oh my goodness, Pamela, 3 surgeries in 4 months. Oh my gosh. I mean, when I had foot surgery in December of 2018, and I was in brain fog for a while from the anesthesia, but I can't imagine having 3 in 4 months. That's just crazy. Oh my gosh. I hope you're feeling better. I hope everything is recovering nicely and that your foot heals. I know from personal experience, foot surgeries are not fun as far as recovering. So I totally get that. Okay, so let's talk about crochet hooks here. Oh, before I do that, the giveaway, I forgot about the giveaway. And I didn't pull it out because I completely forgot until right before I was supposed to go live. I'm giving away today a copy of Cyclamen in the Moss. It'll be a digital version. This is Cyclamen in the Moss. This was actually my pattern for the Pacific Northwest slow crawl. If you've never heard of the slow crawl, I'm not sure how big it's going to be this year. I've heard some negative things about it. That's why I didn't design a pattern this year, but it starts on Memorial Day. It ends on Labor Day. If you go to shops in Oregon, Washington, Idaho, I believe, are the Oregon, Washington, and Idaho are the 3 states that are involved. And you have all summer to do it. And I believe there's an online version too. This pattern's not available this year. This was last year's pattern for Silly River Yarns. But if you go to Slow Crawl, I think it's slowcrawl.com or slowcrawl.net. I can't remember. You can find out more about it. And again, like I said, you can get these patterns for free. Most shops have knitting patterns. Some have crochet. I don't know if all the shops this year have crochet, because the shop I usually do patterns for, even though she's participating, because of the issues they're having this year with dealing with copyrights and stuff like that. I didn't participate this year. So, but if you'd like to win this copy of this pattern, and a lot of you may already have it, if you already have it, please don't enter. And I think Dawn was the winner last year. So Dawn, if you're here, please don't enter because you won last week. I want to make sure that we spread the wealth. But in order to win a copy of this pattern, it is hashtag crochet hook, since we're talking about crochet hooks. So type in your comment, just hashtag crochet hook with no spaces, and you'll be entered to win right away. So I'm going to take that off the screen here for a second. This actually uses a lace weight yarn, but you could use fingering. I used 875 yards for this, and I used West Yorkshire Spinners Exquisite, which is wool, mulberry, and mulberry silk. 80% wool, 20% mulberry silk. So if you're interested in this pattern, it's also available on my website. So KarenHooley.com, and just hit shop and then go into my, what do you call it? Into where it says shawls and wraps. And you'll find this pattern. So it's a really fun pattern. It's trying to remember. It's a 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 row repeat plus an edging. But the repeat, once you get the repeat down, like maybe do the repeat twice, you have it memorized. It's very simple. It's all double crochets and chains. Maybe a single crochet here or there. Nope, it's all double crochets. Oh yeah, there's a couple singles in there with the edging, but not in the main field. So if you're interested in this pattern and don't win today, it is available in my shop. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the chat here because I just saw a bunch of people pop in. There's Karen. Good morning. I'm glad you're here. It's great to see you. Pamela said, oh, you have a rare bone disease in your right gallbladder. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. Pamela, I'm so sorry. I'll be keeping you in my prayers. I hope everything heals properly for you. I had my gallbladder taken out 4 weeks after my son was born. I had the gallbladder attack when I was pregnant with him. And then I had, after he was born, I had a severe one while I was driving the car, and they immediately took me to the ER and said, no more gallbladder. You love the diamonds on the shop. Me too. They're little, yeah, it's called cyclamen in the moss. So the little diamonds that you're seeing in there, I'm going to try to bring it a little closer. Those diamonds are supposed to be the little cyclamen flowers. It's actually an Italian lace stitch from one of my grandmother's stitch dictionaries from Italy. So that's a cool thing about this pattern. So there you go. Martha's here. Good morning, Martha. It's good to see you. And Renee already has that pattern. I know a lot of you have a lot of my patterns, and I apologize. There's a whole bunch of new ones coming out. I've got one coming out later this year, and or not later this year, later this month. And next week, the dyer will be on the show with me. I'm going to be doing an interview with her. So I'll probably give away that one, even though it's not released to the public, just so you guys know. It's a brand new pattern. And Pamela had to change hooks since his surgery. Yes, and we can talk about that too. So if you have a question about changing hooks and stuff, let me know. Pamela says, beautiful. I'm glad you guys like the pattern. I see a lot of people entering. Linda says, next week, if all goes well, we'll have, yay! Oh my gosh, yay. Okay, this one deserves some confetti. 25 years clear of breast cancer. That's awesome. So yay, Linda. I'm so happy for you. After my treatments, I'll have my first, hopefully clear checkup in July, but I have no idea how all those checkups are going to go after that. So we'll see. I'll find out in July. I'm just waiting to get through these treatments. Renee, I bought the yarn for the pattern. I haven't made the shawl yet. I hear that a lot from a lot of people, Renee. And most people have, at least you know what yarn you want. So that's awesome. Pamela says, breast mom, my mom had breast cancer in the early 2000s. Yep. A lot of people are touched by breast cancer. It's really amazing. I already have that one. I'm sorry, Linda. I'm so sorry. And I see here that Sharon's here. So good morning. And Deborah, good morning. It's good to see you. It's been a while. I'm so glad you're here. I see prayers for Pamela. Bunch of people putting in. We're talking about, okay, so I'll let you guys chat about surgeries and stuff like that in chat, but I'm going to start talking about crochet hooks. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to pop this in here like that. We're going to talk about the differences between crochet hook heads first, because most crochet hooks fall into one of two categories. They're either boy style or bait style when it comes to the head of the hooks. So I'm going to put this up here really quick. So this is a boy crochet hook. This is an actual boy. It's a size G, and it's a 4.25 millimeter hook. Now, I know you can't see me very well holding the hook, but you know what? I might make myself a little bit bigger here. There we go. Okay, so when you are looking at a boy hook, I have it set sideways. So you'll notice a couple things. First of all, this is a little bit rounder here at the top. And then this is what I call the bowl of the hook here, where you actually grab the yarn. It's kind of a little bit wider than most hooks, or not most hooks, but all boy has a little bit of like a scoop taken out of it. If you look at the picture, you can see there's a scoop before the hook starts. So boy, that's the biggest characteristic of a boy style hook. So when we talk about tapered and inline, boy hooks can be both. And then the other version, which I'll talk about in a second, can be both as well, just so you guys know. Okay, so boy hook, that's the boy hooks traditionally, when you look at it, this way. I'm going to put it a little closer. You'll notice even in the picture, it tapers here to the head. This is what we call a tapered hook. Boy, if you get the Boy brand, they have a thumb rest. Usually, I don't believe Boy has anything without a thumb rest. I could be wrong. The Boys I have are the originals from my grandmother, and I was just going to pull out my grandmother's hooks, or the hooks I got from my grandmother, but I don't see them here right now in easy reach. Okay, it's not in easy reach. So, but I learned using a Boy hook. In fact, a Boy style hook. This is the hook I actually learned from. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's a plastic hook. It's a little flatter at the head of the hook, but it's still that Boy style. See how it's a little more open there at the bowl of the hook. So there you go. So that's a Boy style hook. Now we're going to switch to Bates. Susan Bates is the other major style for crochet hooks. Okay, so this is a Susan Bates. This is also a G, but this one is only 4 millimeters. Okay, so one thing you have to remember when you're working and looking for crochet hooks, especially when you're working on a pattern, hopefully not everybody, and I'll tell you most free patterns, there's a lot of free pattern authors who don't do this, but you should see the letter and the millimeters. I always go by the millimeters. If they don't give you the millimeters, I would try both sizes in this case, because G is one of the few hooks that can come in multiple sizes, and it drives me crazy. I will tell you that right now. It drives me crazy. That's why in all of my patterns, I work with a Boy style hook, and I give you the millimeters so that you have an idea, at least as a jumping off point to get gauge. Okay. So differences with Bates versus Boy. I'm going to stick that in front of the camera there. I don't know if you guys can see that as well. Okay. So if you notice, first of all, this is a little bit rounder than the Boy here at the top of the hook. But then also here, the bowl, it's more of a slit rather than a scoop. I'm going to put them both together here. And, oops, can you see that, guys? Oop, I'm going to pull them back a little. I'm going to try to turn this. Oh, maybe I need to go closer to me and maybe put them on my hair. It's hard on the camera. But you can see this is more of a slit. You can see it really well when I put it forward, that it's not quite as a big scoop as the Boy is. The other thing is when I turn it forward, you'll notice it does not taper on the sides here. This is called an inline hook. Now, all hooks are good, or not, I shouldn't say all because that's not true, but most hooks will taper here at the front. You can see, but it's the sides of the hook. If those are the same as all the way up to the hook, that is an inline hook. Now, I have both style hooks. I have crocheted with both style hooks, and I can tell you, I don't think it's just because I learned on a Boy, but for me, I can do both the pencil hold and the knife hold. But for me, the way I catch my yarn to do like yarn overs and pull throughs and things like that, the Bates doesn't have enough room here for me. It just doesn't. I don't like it. So it splits. And I know that most knife holders who are like me, that crochet mostly as a knife holder, tend to have that problem. I can't say it's 100% across the board, but in teaching live classes, I've noticed that people who hold the hook pencil have a better time scooping the yarn with the Bates than those with the Boy. I mean, than with the knife hold. Sorry, not the Boy. Now, again, I can do both. And with the Boy hook, I don't split even doing it this way, even though I'm a knife holder. I just like having room right here and with this. So I would recommend that if you're having trouble with yarn splitting, and it doesn't matter what kind of yarn it is, whether it's a loose ply or a really tight ply, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you try switching to the other style hook to see if it makes it better. And also make sure you can do both the knife and the pencil hold when you're crocheting, because sometimes the hold will make a difference as well. So if you're splitting too much, make sure you try, if you're a knife holder like me, try the pencil hold and see if it helps. It's going to slow you down. I promise you, it's going to slow you down. If you're comfortable one way over the other, it's going to slow you down at first. But once you know how the feel is, you'll speed back up again. So I can do both pretty. This one's still a little bit slower. I'm faster doing knife hold. But just so you guys know, that's super, super easy way to change, to fix issues, is to switch the style of hook. So I'm going to check to see if there's any questions. I see you guys are chatty over here. Hold on. Martha says, crochet hooks, I have quite a collection. So do I, and you're going to see part of it here in a minute. Oh, you're welcome for the confetti. I think that's awesome, Linda. I mean, I'm really happy for you. Okay. Pamela says, I learned to crochet 16 years ago, started with silver base silver loom, then clover ergonomic. I used to hate the boy style. Now I love them. I have Hobby Lobby brand with bamboo handles. Okay. Stephanie says, I have F hooks in 2 sizes. Yes, that happens too. And the other thing with boy, you'll notice if you have the original ones that were made in Mexico, now they're made in the US, but they used to be made in Mexico, or no, I take it back. They used to be made in the US, now they're made in Mexico. It's one or the other. I can't remember. But the original hooks I learned with, the G hooks sizes changed. And I think the F hooks did too, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know. It's hard. You can't tell anymore because they don't stamp US or Mexico on them anymore. They used to say where they were made. So I don't know which one this is, and that's why I can't remember. So my original set for my grandmother had one set of sizing, and then as I bought other hooks, they've changed. So yeah, that's really common. If your right wrist is more swollen, have pretty big hands, you like the longer hooks with the bamboo handle best. Clover is a little too short and it digs into my palm. That happens to the best of us, actually. Good morning, Pat. I'm so glad you're here. It's good to see you. I'm so glad you popped in. Martha said, I learned to crochet with Bates and boy crochet hooks about 10 years ago. So you use both, Martha? Are they both comfortable, or do you have problems with one over the other? Good morning, Judy. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Okay, let's see what else I have here. Oops. Hang on. Judy. Okay. Pamela says, I'm finding I can crochet faster with boy style hooks. Yeah, me too. Seems I'm always splitting my yarns with the Susan Bates. I'm the oddball then. I'm a knife holder that uses Bates. I feel like I'm better able to keep the yarn on the Bates hook rather than the boy. Interesting. But like I said, it's not 100% across the board. But in teaching classes, that's what I have found. Pamela, I have several. Yes, Hero hooks. I have a couple of those too somewhere. I don't know if I still have them in these containers or if I put them in a different one. One from Santa. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. How many of you, go ahead and chat and tell me if you're a knife holder or a pencil holder, or if you do both. Let me know. Just say knife, pencil, or both. So just let me know what you, which way you hold your hooks. I've tried knife hold and it doesn't work for me. Pencil hold goes smooth and fast. Can't do Tunisian with that hold. Love furls hooks because they are wider, less crampy in my hand. See, for me, I can't use the furls hooks because they're too short. I need something longer. I have a custom furls hooks. When furls first started, Harrison came to a Crochet Guild of America event in 2012. He was just getting started. I'm pretty sure it's 2012. It's either 2010 or 2012. And we were in Reno, and he was one of the vendors there. He was by himself. He had no team with him. It was just him. And he was custom making crochet hooks for people. And literally, he had several different styles of what he was working on. I think it was more of a test thing for him. And he custom made, I think, do I have it here? Or I can grab it. Yes, I do have my custom furls. Okay. I have it. This one is one of the original furls from years ago. They used to come in these little bags. They had a little postcard in it talking about it. This is my custom furls made out of rosewood. He customized it so that you can see how it sticks out farther in my hand. But the problem is this shaft is way too small for me. I need a nice long shaft. So that's why I tend to use, because I do have early onset arthritis, I use the clover hooks, or not the clover, the Addy color-coded crochet hooks that have a longer shaft, but they have a handle, so that I need something that's, even with the furls, it sticks out from here, but this one sticks out even farther, and it has no thumb rest. So that's what my preference is with crochet hooks, because of just because of my early onset arthritis. This actually is not even balanced. I need to have a balanced crochet hooks. There's too much weight right here. It's not in the center of my hand, because of the way I hold the hook. It's not in the center of my hand, so I feel like my whole arm and shoulder is not. And I have tried all of the furls, different styles at different events, and I cannot use the furls. It's just, I cannot. So this is more of a kind of a special hook that I pull out to show people. But yeah, it was, I was really bummed that it wasn't going to work for me. So I wish furls, even their new ones with the black handles, they have a little bit of a longer shaft on them. They are still unbalanced for my hands. So I know a lot of people say they do balance, but for me, they don't. Let's see. Hold on. Okay. Renee says, I learned using the boy hook, but once I tried the baits, I switched. Love Susan Bates, made in Mexico. Yep. There you go. See, there's everybody has their preferences, and that's what's important. But what I would recommend, if you have a splitty yarn, try the other brand or the other style head to make to see if it makes a difference. I also have a set of Clover More, a set of Clover bamboo hooks. They help me choose the better hook for the yarn I'm using. Yeah, having a bunch of hooks is so important. Is so important because, sorry guys, I'm trying to find where I'm at here. There we go. Excuse me. Every time I click on something, it's moving the chat on me. I think there might have been an update and I need to figure out what's going on. Anyway, yeah, having different style hooks, different handles. I mean, like I said, I like these style. I also have the Prim crochet hooks. I love these because they are longer. The only problem with the Prims is that they're flatter. So I tend to roll my hook as I'm crocheting, and it's hard to roll when it's flat. That's why I can't use the Amours. Or I can't use the Soft Touch, and I can't use the, oh gosh, what's the other brand out there that has the flatter hook? So with the Addies, I can roll it in my hand if I need to move the hook a little bit differently. But having a bigger handle is so important if you've got arthritis. I'm one of the lucky ones who has a mother and a grandmother. The grandmother that taught me to crochet both had early onset arthritis in their 40s. I held out until 47. But they were, I think my grandmother was she could have been 39 or 40. My mom was 40 when she got her first diagnosis of arthritis. So I held out for 7 more years, but it took a lot of testing hooks for me to find the ones that work for me. I think the Bates, yes, I agree. The Bates hooks in Mexico were better. Absolutely. Knife only, knife, pencil, knife. Anymore? Oops, a knife hole and prevent inline. Prim is nice with the, I like that the fact that they're more of a boy style head, but they're inline. That's what I was talking about, inline. And I do like these because they're also soft to touch. You can find these, I can't remember where. I know Michaels carries these now because that's where I got this one. But I ordered these online. I can't remember where the other ones. And I do use these from time to time. And we're going to talk about the materials that are used in hooks. So hang on. We have another pencil, both, but pencil mostly. Okay, your original boy hooks, my boy hooks have some different sizes. Yes, absolutely. Charlene, good morning. You're a knife holder too. Okay. Knife, I can't do pencil at all. So it seems like most of us are knife holders or do both. Just from the look, just from. Oh, I haven't seen this one. Leto, I'll have to look for him on Etsy. Boy is more comfortable. I started to use clovers a few years ago. Okay. Yeah. The most important thing is you find what's comfortable. It's just like with socks. Some people find crochet socks too bumpy. So like Judy said, she doesn't like all the grooves because she's sensitive to those. I'm not sensitive to those, but I am with my feet. With socks, if they're too bumpy on the inside, I can't wear them. So I have to be when I'm crocheting socks, I'm very choosy on what yarn I use so that I have the best softness in there. Knit socks doesn't seem to have a problem. Judy, if you have a Michaels nearby, or you can get to a Michaels at some point, they actually sell these without the packaging. At least at my Michaels, they had a big display with almost like a pencil cups with all the sizes, and you can pick up whatever sizes you want at Michaels. So there you go. Charlotte is a pencil holder. Okay. So we are pretty much, well, I'd say kind of leans toward the knife, but there's a few pencil holders out there. So I wouldn't say, I'd have to go back and count, and I don't want to necessarily go back and do those. Okay. So we talked about the style of hook. Okay. So now, and we talked about handles a little bit. So, there's these that are a little flatter, and then there's my style that I like the best that are a little rounder. I have a cup. This is my normal set of the color-coded. This is what I always keep with me, but I do have a few extras of certain colors that I've lost and then found. So, but these are my favorites. The color-coded also, these are the thread hooks that I use. So I'm working with thread. These are also Addies. They're not color-coded, but what I like about these, I don't have them done like this, but they have lids, so you don't poke through your project bags. This is a really cool feature on these. If you're ever looking for thread hooks that have a little bit of a bigger handle, these are great for me because there's no thumb rest, and I can crochet my knife way or my pencil way and have a nice long shaft here. So if you're looking for thread hooks that have a handle on them, these are the Addies thread hooks. Okay, so these Prim are plastic, but what I like about the plastic on the Prims is that they have no seams. So I have a feeling these are injection molded instead of put in a form like some of the plastics I have. Let me find one of my plastics. Well, here's one. This is the one I learned to crochet with. You can't see it on screen, I don't think. but there is a seam that goes down where you can see where the molds were held. And even though it's pretty smooth, there is a seam there. And some plastic hooks, I don't recommend working, especially beginners. If you're ever teaching beginners, do not have them use plastic hooks because the seam will drive them absolutely batty. Always recommend that they get a, what do you call it? A wood hook or a metal hook. Now, here's a wood hook that I got. I can't remember where I got this one, but it's got a resin little handle on it. What I don't like about it, it's not super long in the shaft, but it is a boy style. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's a boy style hook. I believe this is a J, but what I do like about it has no thumb rest and it rolls in my hand. So if I'm working on something that I need a J, that this actually is, oh, this is a K. This is not a J. This is a K because I don't have a K in this. Addie does not have a K in these for some reason. So this is what I use. And I like the wood. Now, when I first got arthritis, I only used wood hooks because wood holds your heat and it allows you to keep your fingers warm and helps with the arthritis. So wood hooks, if you're having really severe arthritis issues and you can get a wood hook with a nice big handle on it like this, I highly, highly recommend that because it's hard to find them. And so like those of you who use the clover with the bamboo handles, the wood is going to help you with your arthritis. So if you're really you're really looking for something with wood, really looking for something that keeps the warmth, because metal hooks like these don't hold your warmth as much. If you put it down for a second and then pick it back up, it's cold almost immediately, where the wood holds onto it for a little while. So you can crochet longer. I can crochet longer with these. Even though this is a plastic handle, it warms up enough that I can actually crochet pretty well with these as well for a long period of time. But the fact that I can switch back and forth between the holds makes all the difference in the world with my arthritis. That's why I highly recommend if you practice doing both ways, because that'll help not only with arthritis, but it also helps with carpal tunnel. My husband has carpal tunnel, and I had early carpal tunnel when I was working full-time from all the typing I did. But being able to switch my hooks helped with that as well. So I never had to have surgery like my husband did. Wood is a lot slower. If what I mean by slower is it's got, even though it can be super smooth like this wood hook is, it slows down the yarn as it slides on the wood. Where a metal hook, it's what we call a fast hook. So the yarn's going to slide because it's super slick. Plastic, I'm going to call a little bit slower than, this is not, yeah, this is plastic. The plastic hooks are slower than metal, but not quite as slow as wood, especially if the wood is unfinished. The plastic's going to be a little faster. But again, if you've got seams that catch the yarn, it's going to slow you down. Here's another, this is an Addie hook that's plastic, has no seams. Well, it has a little bit of a seam right here, but I've never had problems with this one. So, but this is another plastic hook, but this is a 12 millimeter and it's huge, but it's also, I can do both, has no thumb rest, that kind of thing. So I highly recommend that if you like to crochet slower, go with more wood, bamboos or any churned woods like this, or the furls, or there's a bunch of people out there who make crochet hooks. This is my specialty hook container. Most of these are hooks that I got from the Crochet Guild of America, because every year at the convention, they have a commemorative hook. So, and every year we get a different person to do our hooks. Here's the Furls one. We had Furls do one year. This is a company that's no longer around, but she did custom hooks for thread hooks. She did custom handles for thread hooks. And so I have a couple of these. This one I don't use as often, but this one has a thumb rest underneath because I am a knife holder and it allows me to keep my thumb where it needs to be when I'm working with thread, which is really cool. I like that. I don't like the half and half thumb rests because of those half and half thumb rests are a pain. But you'll notice, even though it's got a fancy tail to it, it fits my hand so that it doesn't necessarily bother me. And see how it sticks out? It's really important. It's not digging into my hand. Then there's things like glass hooks you can get. These, I don't recommend them because if you look at the hook part of it, it's not really consistent. It's just a hook. This is more of a decorative piece. Here's another one that's glass that I got at an event. And again, I don't like the way the hook, because the hook, even though it's more of a boy, I'm going to try to get it on my face. It's more of a boy style bowl on it. If you notice, the edge of the hook kind of sticks out too far, and trying to crochet with that is terrible. So I'm just going to tell you, glass hooks are not my favorite, but I have all sorts of hooks. I mean, here's a wooden hook from Crochet Guild of America. This is a 7. She just took a regular. I think these might actually be either Knit Picks or the other one that uses Knitter's Pride crochet hook, and she did a polymer clay top to it. So these are also, here's a flat one we got at CGOA. Look at how flat that handle is. I can't use this one. It's just kind of a commemorative hook for me. Here's a one that I can use. This is an H, and see how decorative it is. So I like to collect hooks. I have tons. This is a 22 millimeter crochet hook. If you're using like 6 strands of yarn to make a quick blanket or something with leftovers, great hook to do that with. So hooks are, here's another CGOA one. It's actually some sort of stone. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's some sort of stone. It's really heavy, and this one I could not use because it's so heavy it would hurt my arthritis. But I really like the fact that it's different. So, okay, so that's where we can end off. So, do you guys have a preference? Wood, plastic, metal? Tell me what your favorite kind of hook is. We're gonna go ahead and do that. I'm going to go through these chats because there's a lot of comments here. And who else display? This is me. This is why I've got these two in jars. They usually go up on that shelf. It's empty now, but they're usually up on that shelf for display. I also have a set. Let's see if I can pull it out. I have a set right here. I used to have this on display, but it got so dusty that I had to stop displaying it. But these are Knitter's Pride. They are rosewood hooks with Swarovski crystals on them. I got these one year for Christmas from the yarn shop that I used to work for as a gift, as a Christmas gift. In their boy style. They have a thumb rest. They're printed with the sizing. So that is another little display piece. I don't ever use these because of the thumb rest, and they're too small. I need a bigger handle. Now the L I might be able to use because it's a bigger one, but the K, even the K on down are too small. But this is a really cool set. I don't think they have these anymore, but they did for a long time. Anybody else display their hooks? Yes. When you split, the problem with splitting yarn is you need to switch. You can need to switch the bowl style. You need to switch whether you're using wood or metal or plastic, because plastic tends to split more a little bit if it's got the seam. because it catches, and depending on how it's plied is going to make a difference on which hook you want to use. So that's why I recommend that everybody has multiple hooks. Now, before I keep going, I just want to remind everybody, for those, because there's a lot of people here who popped in and didn't see what I was doing before. I'm giving away a copy of Cyclamen and the Moss. And in order to win, you need to type in hashtag crochet hook. So this is the pattern I'm giving away at the end of the show. So just keep watching for that. So if you haven't, and you have to be here to win. So if you're not here, I'm gonna have to redraw. Okay. So let me see. Martha says, boy is more comfortable, but I started to use clover. And it's, yep, we did. Okay, so I saw that one. I'm trying to remember where I was. Okay. Pamela says she's never tried the furls. I think it's a love-hate relationship. Yes, it is a love-hate relationship. I tend to, yes, I used to bend plastic crochet hooks because I used to be a super tight crocheter when I was younger. And that's another reason I don't use plastic, is because they bend so easily. This one didn't bend. I don't know why, because this was the hook I used the most. I made all my doll clothes with this one. I don't know what brand it is because it's all worn off. I just know that it's an H. A minute, maybe I can see. Nope, I can't see. I don't know what brand this is, but this is the one my grandmother taught me to crochet with. But yeah, they bend. Bamboo handles at Hobby Lobby are very comfortable. Yes. The bamboo handle is another one for people who have hand issues. Denise plastic crochet hooks. Yes. In fact, I should pull mine out. Oh, I don't have them. I don't have them ready, but the plastic crochet hooks for Tunisian crochet, those are great. And Denise, since they sold to the new people who are running Denise now, they have changed their plastic, no seams. So they're injection molded, and they have changed the connections so that the connections don't come undone. The old set that used to come in the plastic box, I couldn't use them. I ended up giving my set away because every time I'd use them, the connection would come undone. So that's important too. Martha has a set of Laurel Hills. I also have a set of Laurel Hills. These are Laurel Hill Tunisian hooks. I'm going to pull out one of the bigger ones. These are their Tunisian hooks made out of palm wood. And I can't remember what the caps are. So if you're looking for a Tunisian hook that's a straight hook, Laurel Hill's your place to go for those. I also have a set of Laurel Hill smaller hooks, the regular hooks, but they're too small. There's no handle on them. So I can't, I need something with a bigger thing. Yeah, Laurel hooks, yes, they're beautiful. And because I do a lot of big Tunisian projects, I haven't been using my Laurel Hill hooks, but I love Laurel Hill. They have great hooks. Metal, but with a plastic type hand mold. Let's see, that's clover, not regular crochet. Yes, and they have interchangeable cords for Tunisian. Lots of, yes, and vintage crochet hooks. I have vintage hooks too here from my grandmother's. Let's see if I can find them. Here's one. Here's a vintage hook from one of my grandmother's. Here's another one. And then I have some metal ones that are in another box somewhere. The other thing I should mention about crochet hooks while I'm thinking about it, more hooks in a Band-Aid box. There are certain types of crochet that need a bigger or a pointier top to them. So you see this right here, how it's pointy. I don't know if you guys can see how pointy that is. This is actually a bamboo knitting needle I had cut down, and carved into a crochet hook by a friend of mine named Jimbo. He used to make hand carved crochet hooks. And I was at an event and needed a hook that had a sharper end, and he just grabbed one of my needles and cut it down. But you can find these in other brands. I don't know. I got these at a Crochet Guild of America show. These rosewood ones. See the pointier top to them? If you're going to do camel crochet, you need these pointy hooks. So if you can find a set of pointy hooks like that for those stitches that you need to get under random loops on different stitches, that it makes it hard with a smoother hook. This is a Brittany birch hook. The smoother hooks here at the don't go in as well as these pointy ones. So this is something else you can look for, because certain stitches, honestly, bullions is another thing. I like the Brittany hooks for bullions because there's a huge shaft here and you can get all the multiple loops. Now, I'm not great at bullions. You notice that I don't design with bullions, but I have done patterns with bullions. And Brittany hooks, because there's so much room here, are the perfect hooks, and there's no thumb rest for doing bullions. So if you're interested in those, that's super important. Linda said those are beautiful hooks. I'm not sure which ones you were talking about. They're fixed cords. Okay, that's what we're talking about. Yes, bamboo is so good for arthritic hands. Yes, wax paper is a good thing. And also what I have found, and I don't share this very often, but I use, if you have glasses and you have a spray bottle of glasses cleaner, like my eye doctor gives out these to clean my glasses with. I use a little bit of this on there. That helps with the metal hooks. With wood hooks, sometimes, especially like these, the bamboos and even the birch hooks, sometimes you'll get a rough spot after use, wear and wear and wear. My dad is a cabinet maker, so he recommends using some mineral oil, and then the finest grade of sandpaper you can find, the finest, and just a little bit smooth. Wood hooks, I always used to, I didn't do that with the bamboo, but I always used to put a little bit of mineral oil on them so they would not dry out too much. So that's something else. If they're not sealed, some of them are sealed and you don't have to worry about that part. But the ones that aren't sealed, like bamboo, sometimes mineral oil will help keep them from being too brittle. Oh, the Leto hooks have that feature. That's good to know. I'll have to look them up. So anybody else have any comments that you want to share about crochet hooks? I'm looking for something. No, I don't have it here. I don't have it within reach. Anybody else have anything that they want to share about crochet hooks or questions you want to ask me about hooks? I would recommend, if you're working with something like silk, I don't know if any of you guys have worked with 100% silk before, but if you do have 100% silk or a high percentage of silk in the yarn, and you have any sort of roughness on your hands, have you ever noticed how silk will stick to your hands? Have you ever noticed that? I would not crochet with silk yarn in a wooden hook, especially bamboo. I would go to either plastic or metal. I would prefer metal because plastic, again, will split the fibers. So that's one thing you want to think about is the fiber content that you're using as well, because that's super important on how fast you'll be able to crochet. If you like to crochet fast, don't use wood for silk, especially. Other things you want to look at is, again, we talked about how tight your twist is. If your twist is really loose, you are probably going to want to try different hooks before you settle on one to do your project. What I recommend is make like a chain of 20 and just do double crochets and try different hooks in the size that you want. to see what works best for you. So try wood, try metal. I don't recommend plastic. I have plastic. I know a lot of people like plastic, but I don't recommend it for any types of crochet. But that's up to you. So anybody have any questions? Oh, Linda. Okay. So yeah, those are pretty hooks, aren't they? I love those hooks. Anybody else have any questions about hooks or comments they want to share about crochet hooks? I'm going to put this up one more time really quick to win Cyclamen in the Moss. If you don't have the pattern already, type in hashtag crochet hook in the chat and you'll be entered to win. Anybody else? Because I have some things to show you. I know we're getting close to 10 o'clock here Pacific, but this is probably going to be one of those that goes a little bit over because I have a lot to show you guys. Anybody? I'm going to take a sip of my coffee here. Try to clear my throat. That's the one thing about my treatments is that it makes my allergic response activate. And so this weird tickle in my throat is my allergic response. Anybody else? Okay. Well, then let me show you what I've got going on here. I got a huge box of yarn right after Thursday, after I had my last week's live. And then I got some yarn Monday. And then I don't know if I ever showed you this one. So I'm going to show you this one first. If I did show this to you guys, let me know. This I got a few weeks ago from Nanette Wake Fiber. Nanette Wake Studio, sorry. I've been talking to another company that's Nanette or is Fiber, and so I automatically just throw it on there. These are her 50-gram hanks of yarn. I got one in speckled lime, I got one in speckled pop, and then I got one in sea breeze. They're going to be in one project, so I'll be doing that later this year. But these are 50-gram skeins, fingering weight, 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon, and in 50 grams are 218 yards. So these are really, really bright colors, as you guys can see. They're pretty accurate on screen, at least from what I can see. They're really bright. They're going to be all in the same project. So be watching for that. I'm really excited about this project. Okay, and then I'm going to show you the yarn I got on Monday first because there's only a little bit of it. This is from Tuscan Knits. If you are part of my my pattern club, you have heard of Tuscan Knits. She did the Adorn pattern in the ambient pattern. That's her yarn in those. And you've probably seen the video that I did. It's going to go, the interview that I did with Tuscan Knits is going to go live at the end of the month on my YouTube channel if you want to learn more about this dyer. But this is her DK weight. It's cabin DK, 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon. And it's 240 grams, and the color is clay. Isn't that gorgeous? It's kind of a teal with some gray in it. And this is going to be for a project that'll be coming in the Pattern Club next year. So I'm really excited about these. So if you're interested in learning about this, her website is Tuscan Knits, TuscanKnits.com, all one word, Tuscan Knits. And she is doing, what do you call it? She's doing dye to order now. So some of the colorways are already listed on her site for dye to order. So you can pick out your base, pick out your color, and it takes about a week for her to get them dyed and shipped to you. So if you're interested in those, she's a great one to do. So now I got to, as you guys know, I'm doing more videos on YouTube. This last week I was kind of behind the 8 ball because of Mother's Day and other things that are going on in our family, the trip to California and all that. But this yarn, I was also waiting on this because I'm going to be doing more videos with these yarns. And so I'm using Red Heart yarns. And I know there's a lot of you, Pat, if you're still out there, I know you guys like the heavier weight yarns because I tend to be the fingering girl. But these are all worsted weight. So I'm not going to open the packages, but this is Roll With It Melange in the colorway Catwalk. Is that right? Catwalk, yeah. So this is a worsted weight yarn, 100% acrylic, kind of a variegated / long striping type of thing that's going on here. So you'll be seeing that in a video pretty soon. That's one. And then I got some Super Saver for some projects. I ordered only one of these from them and they gave me 3. This is just regular Super Saver in the color Pool. It's a little dark on screen. So this is kind of a turquoisey with a little bit of royal blue in it, if you really wanted to get a clear picture of what the color is. And then here's the other Super Saver I've got. This one is called Mulberry Mix, and it's a variegated. So I'm very excited about this one because I have a project for this one. I think it's mainly for beginner crocheters, but I think a lot of you will like it too. And then I have Unforgettable in the color Rainforest. And it's kind of a red and a teal and a lime green. They kind of morph in, they're long striping. And I have a really fun project for this one too. So I'm looking forward to doing this as well. So, so that's my big box from Red Heart. And you guys know I don't use Red Heart all that often, but when I'm teaching classes of any sort, I like to use either the Cascade 220 or I like to use Red Heart yarns because they're, first of all, they're cost effective, especially for new crocheters. And then they're yarns that I know I can trust when I am teaching, that they're not going to pill while I'm teaching. They're not going to, it's just, I've been using Red Heart since I learned to crochet. And so Red Heart and Lime Brand are my 2 box store yarns that I will always go to for different things when I need to teach something. So even if you take a class from me live, a lot of times I'll be using either Red Heart, very rarely these days Lime Brand, but I will use them, and then Cascade 220, because you can see the stitches on camera and you can see them if I'm standing in front of you. Those are the yarns I use because they're easy. So that's why I got Red Heart, but you know I mostly design in fingering weight, hand dyes. That's this and the, well, and the DK from Tuscan Knits. I put it back on the shelf, and Pat says she likes the DK now. Okay, no worries there. So that's that. Now, for those of you who are in the Pattern Club, just a quick note, because I know a lot of you are. The platform that my website is KarenHooley.com. And the platform that the Pattern Club is on is Crochet Crew, all one word, .KarenHooley.com. They are 2 different platforms. I have been getting a lot of questions from people asking me why the password on my website doesn't work with Crochet Crew. And they are 2 separate platforms. It is up to you if you want to use the same password on both platforms. Just because I have gotten a lot of those questions, I wanted to let you know that really, really quick. Oh, and Hiya Hiya Hooks. Hiya Hiya has great hooks. Oops, there we go. Hiya Hiya has great crochet hooks. I forgot about Hiya Hiya. I use Hiya Hiya knitting needles for everything. If you ask me about knitting, it's only Hiya Hiya, but they do have some great crochet hooks. So if that's another brand you might want to look at if you're interested. Everybody's liking that Unforgettable. Pamela likes the Unforgettable. Linda likes the Unforgettable and the mulberry colored yarn. I like the mulberry colored yarn too. I'm really excited about that project. I also want to show you guys, for those of you who don't know what the Crochet Crew is and what the Pattern Club is, I just had these made. There is my logo for the Crochet Crew. It's officially going to open as Crochet Crew June 1st. I had these flyers made because I'm going to be at an event the first weekend in June, the 4th and 5th of June. So I wanted to make sure I had information about the crew there. But there's the logo. This is kind of a temporary logo. It is the logo the way it's going to look. The colors might change in the order that they're used. These are the colors that I'm using for the crochet crew. It's just changing. We're working out all the details. The crochet crew will open up 3 levels of membership, and I'm going to let you guys know first. So there's 3 levels of membership. You can do a free plan, and the free plan is you will just have access to the forums so that you can chat, not all of the forums, but the general forums, so you can meet other crocheters. You can talk about my patterns. You can talk about what you're working on, things like that. So if you're looking for a community for Karen Hooley Designs, that would be your free version of the crochet crew. The second level is just a strictly pattern club membership, where you get all the benefits of the free plan, plus you get 1 free pattern every month. You get the Zoom call about the pattern every month. You get more groups that you can talk about the pattern of the month and things like that. And you have access to me for 15 minutes a month. If you want to schedule for some help on a pattern, you can do a one-on-one Zoom call with me. And there is a fee for that. I'm not going to announce my pricing quite yet. But then there's the full membership that gets all of the Pattern Club membership and the free plan membership. Plus you get a free yearly crochet along. You get a monthly Stitch and Coffee Zoom call. You get discounts on live and online workshops that I do myself. I mean, if I'm teaching at an event, I can't give you discounts. But if I'm doing my own live event somewhere, which I am planning to do in 2023, you will get discounts on those. You'll get community discounts in the pattern shop 3 to 4 times a year. All of you who are newsletter subscribers know, the only time you get a deal on my patterns is what the first week it's released. And then at a Black Friday, I do a sale on Black Friday. Other than that, everything is full price all year long. So with the full membership, you get 3 to 4 times a year. I will do special sales just for you guys. So, and that's also a fee. So as soon as this is ready to go live to the public, I will send a special newsletter out. So if you're not subscribed to my newsletter, go to KarenHooley.com and subscribe, because as soon as this goes live on the 1st, it's going to be open to the public again. And for those of you who are not part of the Pattern Club, let me just show you an example of the pattern. This year I have a theme. Oops, I don't want to show that yet. This year I have a theme. This is May's pattern. This is called Sunset. And I just released it on Monday. It's a side-to-side shawl. That's the theme of this year's Pattern Club, is side-to-side shawls. Even though I did it in fingering weight, you can do it in DK. You could do it in lace. You could do it in sport. You probably could do it in worsted, but I don't necessarily recommend worsted for it. But DK, yes, definitely. So this year, all the patterns are going to be shawls. Next year, I'm going to mix it up. You're going to have accessories. You're going to have garments. You're going to have shawls. You're going to have, I'm trying to think. You might have a home decor thing in there once in a while too. And eventually, as we grow, I'm going to mention that I might have some surprise designers come in and release a pattern for my club. So it probably won't be next year, but because we need to grow before I can afford to actually have someone pay someone to do a free pattern for us. So, but just so you guys know, and it's going to be a month-to-month thing, so that you could subscribe 1 month and then cancel the next month because you don't like the pattern, or whatever you want to do. But I highly recommend at least trying it out for a few months when you do that. So if you're going to go the paid route. So there's that. Let's see. I'm not sure what she was talking about there. Oh, the lighted hooks. I never liked the lighted hooks either. I had them and I actually gave mine away because I didn't like how they worked. Let's see. Okay, you guys are just chatting about knitting needles. Let's see. Okay, I did try using the lighted hooks in a movie theater once. It didn't bother anybody, but I couldn't see enough to do anything. So I ended up putting my project away. Okay, guys. Well, that's it for me for this week. Anybody have anything else they want to ask? It doesn't have to be topic related. If you have a question for me going forward. Otherwise, oh, I am going to be so happy when these are over. Hang on. I don't have anything else to share right now. I am working on a super secret project. I can't show you. It's sitting right here. I'm going to be working on it all day until my Zoom call. For those of you who are in the Pattern Club, don't forget this afternoon, there is our Zoom call for May's pattern. So we'll be able to chat then face to face. Oh, thank you, Pamela. I agree. I love this yarn. This is the yarn is from Sock Obsession Fibers. It's her Rush Hour. So Linda, if you're listening, this is the Rush Hour pattern. I know you have the yarn already because I had shown the yarn last year before I even made it. So this is your Rush Hour pattern. It will be released to the public in August. So, oh, that's another thing about the Pattern Club is all the patterns will be released to the public at some point. This year, they're going to be released 3 months after they were released to the Pattern Club. Next year, I'm thinking about doing it differently. I'm still working out the details on it. It might be you get the pattern for free if you're part of the Pattern Club or the full membership. But if you're a regular member, you may only get 10% off on those patterns as from a newsletter subscriber standpoint. So I'll release them to the public on the same day, because what I am finding out this year is by delaying the release is I'm having multiple patterns being released every month, and I really don't want that to happen unless I absolutely have to. So from this month forward, I have 2 patterns being released this month. I have 2 patterns being released next month, 2 in July, 1 in August, 2 in September, 2 in October, 2 in November, and possibly 2 in December. And I really don't like to have multiple patterns being released. So, because it's just confusing for everyone, including me. So there you go. But I'm so glad you guys are chatty today. Thank you for being here. If you have any more questions, you know how to get a hold of me. You can always, if you're watching after the fact, for those of you who are here watching after the fact, make sure you leave me a comment with a question if you have a question about hooks, and I will get the answer to you as quickly as possible. And otherwise, I hope you guys have a great week. I will see you next Wednesday, except for the Pattern Club. I'll see you this afternoon. Otherwise, I will talk to you next time. Have a blessed week. Bye, y'all. Good thing I wasn't totally tuned off yet. Hang on one second, guys. I forgot to do the giveaway. Thank you for reminding me, Kelly. Okay, so let me put this on the screen. You have just a few seconds here. I just got to switch to that screen here for a second. So you have a couple more seconds to enter. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I'm going to draw. Thank you, Kelly. I'm telling you, brain freeze, our brain fog is a real thing. Stephanie, congratulations. Awesome. Okay, Stephanie, so you are my winner. So I will put the pattern in your account on my website. For those of you who don't know how this all works, if you don't have an account on my website, my regular website, KarenHooley.com, what I will do is have you email me and I will give you there we go. I will set up an account for you and then I put it in your account. And what that allows me to do is it allows me to allow you to download the pattern anytime you need it. So I highly recommend that with a digital pattern, you save it somewhere on your computer where you can find it, but sometimes that gets lost or your hard drive crashes or something. This way you always have access to the patterns that you purchased or won for free or part of the pattern club. It will always be available to you. Anything that you've done since I switched from Shopify back to WordPress and anything you did before I was on Shopify are not there. Unfortunately, I couldn't save all of that, but now for anything going forward from last year on will always be in your account. I'm never going to leave WordPress again because it's just been too much. So, okay. So Stephanie will be watching for an email from me, or it'll probably come from my shopping cart to get the pattern. So I'm so excited for you. Congratulations. And I'm telling you, brain fog. It's just, so next week, it's going to be worse. I'm just telling you. So between all of you guys, make sure before I start saying goodbye that you remind me to do the giveaway. Next week, we are going to have, I forgot about this, we are going to have Lynn from Chicken Lady Fiber Arts here as a live interview so make sure you do watch because I'm really excited to bring her on live. And we're going to announce the pattern that I'm releasing the following week, and I'm going to give away that pattern to one lucky winner. And none of you have it, so you can all enter. So anyway, that's what's going on, and I will see you next week. Bye, y'all.